Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on NBS Television. This is the Breakfast Meeting. My name is Isabella Tugumi. The innovations in ICT continue to grow day by day, and that will be our basis for discussion this morning as we continue to look at what new innovations keep coming up and how best they can improve the lives of all those that get to use these applications. Now, today we discuss LIPA Mobile and PEEGU that are new applications, but we get to see how best we can use them and how best they can affect the lives of a normal human being. Now, with me to my left is Mr. Labanjemba, who is an enterprise leader for LIPA Mobile, and then to my right is Jathan Jaiswal, who is the founder and CEO of PEEGU Uganda. Good morning.
Good morning, Isabel.
How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, Laban.
Good morning to you, Isabel.
So, briefly tell us about LIPA Mobile and PEEGU. I'll start with you, Laban.
Okay, so LIPA Mobile is simply the fast and easy way of online and mobile payments of the phone, and users can securely send money across platforms on customized enterprise solutions. Right.
All right. And PEEGU?
PEEGU is a very unique blend of child experts and technology, where we map and monitor kids' behavior, finding out child's strengths, weaknesses, and then working on those strengths and weakness so that we can reach the holistic development of a child.
All right, so I'll just jump into my next question. Why PEEGU and how did it start, Mr. Jenkins?
Yes. So why PEEGU? First is, what is PEEGU? So especially in the schools, we always focus on the academic side. And holistic development has always been a challenge over here. When I talk about the holistic development, we always talk about the 5 dimensions over here.
Yes.
That is physical aspects, social, emotional, cognitive, language. Now in schools, we always focus on the cognitive and language aspects. Physical, social, emotional always goes to the backside. That's not the priority for most of the people over here.
That's true.
But if we see, as per the research, what we have seen, that all the 5 dimensions are interconnected to each other. If one goes down, automatically all remaining 4 goes down. So that's where your academic performance also comes down. So it becomes very much important to monitor every child's behavior, right? And when you're monitoring, there should be systematic method. That's where technology comes in. So what we do is, we are child experts, we are child facilitators who gets into the school. They start working with the teachers, they start working with the parents, they carry their iPad along with them, and which helps them to monitor kids' behavior. And that's where we connect parents, teachers, and our experts to help them to analyze their child more better, so that we can customize our teaching aids to every child need.
Yes.
That's it.
It's very innovative, never heard of. It's going to be its first time here in Uganda.
The first time in Uganda?
But is it operating anywhere else in the world?
Yes, it's already been operating in 4 different countries. We are already handling 100,000 students plus. That is started in India, and then we spread our wings to Dubai, Singapore, China, and now we're heading to Uganda.
It's very beautiful. So on the 17th of January this year, you had a business summit in Kampala.
Yes.
What was it about? Briefly tell us what it entailed.
Okay, the summit was basically, the theme of the summit was leveraging mobile digital technology in education. So we have a bouquet of services that we provide for schools.
Yes.
We have the first product we have is called M-Somesa, which is, then we have M-Pocket, and we have another product which is M-Slab. All of them working in tandem with PEEGU to provide a leverage technology to provide better services across what is just mentioned, and also managing the finances and the information flowing between students, the teachers, and the parents. So that was the theme of the summit. So we talked about how M-Somesa, basically M-Somesa is a one-way payments platform, self-managed system where parents can actually save up the tuition for their kids well before the term begins. For example, right now you can use M-Somesa to start saving up for next term. We know that term 1 is coming up in about 4 weeks or something.
Yes.
But in another 3 months, there will be term 2. So you can start in small incremental payments as low as 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. It's up to you, the parent, to actually manage how you actually help you prioritize your expenditure for the first most important thing, which is education of your child.
All right.
So we also discussed M-Pocket. M-Pocket is that it's a virtual platform where parents, the teachers, and the students meet to exchange. Yes, the first thing is pocket money, but the second thing obviously is important information. So the pocket money is sent over by the parents. The parents will simply go on their phones, dial the LIPA mobile code, which is *270 *77 hash. They'll go into a menu, and that menu will give them a few things that they can do. The first thing they can do, obviously, is to deposit money. Now, depositing money will automatically take them to their mobile wallet, which could be MTN or Airtel, for in this case. Then they can actually choose the amount they want to send. But beyond that, they can manage the expenditure. They can manage the expenditure of the child in school. They can say, okay, they can say you will spend X amount per day. They can manage that. They can manage a messaging alert system that if the money is falling below this amount, can I get messages? And the messages will come by way of email, SMS. They can also come by WhatsApp. Yeah. So the parent will decide how they want to get the communication. So that is one way that the platform works for the pocket money management. Yeah. But beyond that, the schools are also able to communicate to the parent by logging onto the platform and actually selecting areas of importance, or what they think they should prioritize. It could be about the academic reporting, the marks in maybe midterm exams and that kind of testing. It could be reporting about the extracurricular activities. It could be the health. It could be basically anything that the school determines as important. So the parent will go and pick that menu on the LIPA mobile M-Pocket platform, and they'll choose what they want to see, and the information will be there. So what we do, or the service actually entails, as I've mentioned, the parent will be on their phone. They simply dial a code, and it can work both on the capability type of phones and the smartphones. The child will be given a card like this, which doubles as an identity card in school. So it is on this card that the child will actually take this to the canteen when they're purchasing, tap on a device, enter their PIN code, and the canteen person has already entered the amount, and bang, they've made the purchase.
Really?
Yes.
It's really fancy.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, that's the first part. So beyond that, this card then will go ahead to work as the gate pass. The schools can administer and manage the gate pass system by simply logging on, giving permission to a child to go for whatever reason. It could be sometimes they send them back for school fees, other times the school trips, other times they're going to see it's a medical thing, whatever the permission is all about. So once that permission is granted by the school to the child to go, the parent will instantly get a notification on their phone and email
that your child has left school premises.
Yeah, to start with, your child has been given permission to come over next week on that date, Wednesday. So the parent has time to react to that message, say, don't send the child, I'm in Dubai. Don't send the child, I won't be back from the village. Or, yes, I'll pick up the child. So they have time to react. So the message goes. So, but when the time comes for the child to exit school, when she reaches or he reaches the gate person would simply ask them, instead of showing them the normal leave sheet with the paper document, they'll simply produce their card, and they say, okay, tap onto the machine there again, which is the device. They just tap on their PIN code, and the system will alert the gatekeeper that, yes, this child has permission to go, yeah, so you can let them go. So if the permission is there, of course, the gateman will allow the child to exit, but the parents will get an instant notification again that your child is now leaving the campus. So the parent has time to actually now react. I should expect this child in the next 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on where they are. And on return, the same thing will happen. So when they return, again, they tap on machine, I've come back, a PIN code, the parent gets messages, WhatsApp, email, SMS, the child is now entering back safely at school. So it helps in the monitoring, which is important. Sometimes also joint sharing the responsibility between the parents and the school. So we know if your child has left and has not reached you after 2 days, parent take some concern. If you sent your child 2 days ago, you've not got a notification, then you know your child never got to school. So you should, it helps in that monitoring. So once the child has actually returned at school, then this card can translate to do a few other things. It can be used as the roll call. So when they do roll call, again, they go to the POS machines, tap PIN code, and they know who's present. When they go to the dining hall, they tap PIN code, they know who's consuming what meals when. They could go to the library, and again, they use the same system, and to say what time you got into the library, for example, but most importantly, what books are you borrowing, and when are they due, so all that information you no longer need to actually write on those cards that when we went to school that we used to fill out, if you remember those cards.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, then it monitors that in at the library, but it can be extended to other things as well, such as, say, the sick bay. We know what happens at the sick bay. You go there, they fill in a sheet, but sometimes the school perhaps wants to keep an eye on the medication. Is this the drugs being, are we catering for our stock well? So we know who is taking what, so we can, it's a stock management as well, and control. And yes, the services are going to the right people who are entitled to them. So it's a monitoring tool there. And all in that, the system affords the school the opportunity to get all that information available on the system to the parent when the parent goes on their phone and dial up. Yeah. So yeah, can be used in those areas, and any other additions that the technology allows can be added onto this. So
this is very new to me, quite frankly. Like you, as you said, rightly put, when we were used to go to school, your parents do not monitor your movement. But this innovation is going to help parents be able to track the movement of their kids, how they spend. It's very, very, very beautiful. But back to Chaitan, I wanted to know, not many of us have come across an application that can monitor a child's behavior. Because as you said, many schools, when we send children to school, we tend to ignore some aspects and focus on others. So how ready do you think Ugandan schools are for this type of technology?
Okay. First, very important thing, Isabella, over here is we need to understand that most of us, we do not ignore it intentionally. You know, it's just that unknowingly, you know, we want to give holistic development to a child. But what happens, academic pressure comes on board. When academic pressure comes, we have to only think about, you know, how our kids have been focusing on their subjects, how they have been securing the marks over here. So if we have to bring the change, we need to go step by step over here. So what we do over here is, when I talk about technology, it's not completely dependent on the technology. We need to bring the experts on board. So these are the child experts who visit the schools on a continuous basis. When they visit the schools, they have around 15 to 20 years of experience with them. So these are the experts who understand child behavior and child psychology, right? And these experts, they monitor every child by doing the classroom observation. Okay. The most important thing over here is teachers are the pillar of any school, right? And teachers has to take their knowledge, skills to the next level. That can be only done by doing continuous training and workshop for the teachers. So we conduct a lot of workshop for the teachers. Customizing it, school needs. You know, every school will have different kind of needs what we'll be having. So what we do is we give them training on, say, knowledge enhancement of how to understand kids' behavior, having more effective classroom management, you know, designing their own tools for their classroom. Okay, how about thinking out of the box? Lateral thinking, it's a very common word, what we have been hearing from our childhood days, right? But when we actually ask somebody to draw a circle, we can't draw a circle, a perfect circle, right? If we ask them to draw a straight line, they still can't draw a straight line, right? We have been stuck. So how we can unbox our creativity as a teacher? That's what we try to work along. On the other hand, most important thing is most of the teachers are being stressed out because they handle their work life, they also take care of their personal life. Imagine if a teacher is too stressed out and when she walks into the classroom, is she going to impart 100% of her knowledge? No. It'll be a part of stress also she's going to be imparting to the kids. Again, I'm saying it's unknowingly, right? So we try to de-stress the teachers by doing a work-life balance, workshops with them, right? On the other hand, when I talk about parents, we always talk about parenting styles, right? Now, there is nothing right and nothing wrong. Whatever parents do, they do the best for their child. Right? So here these experts continuously get in touch with the parents to help them to customize their parenting styles in the right direction. Because nowadays, kids, how they were back, and as of today, the kids are 5 years more ahead than their current age. They're way too smart.
That's true.
Right? When we were young, we didn't know how, especially I didn't know, how to use a mouse in a computer, and nowadays 2-year-old child can easily operate an iPad. Right? So we need to start thinking, we need to start connecting over here. So we need to go step by step, as your question was, that how much Uganda school will be prepared to leverage such kind of technology, we need to go step by step, right? Because one thing what we have seen is behavior is common everywhere. You know, behavior is something which defines a person.
Yes.
Finally, that behavior will make the person go to the next level,
True.
right? And especially education, meaning of education is to ensure that every child is ready to face the life, and starts from the foundation. That's monitoring the behavior. And especially the kind of experts what we have a global panel of experts with us. So we try to connect the school, say school in Kampala will be connecting to the school in Dubai, so that there's a knowledge sharing happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So a school in, for example, a school in China will be getting connected to a school in Kampala, and Kampala will be getting connected to Indian schools. Sitting where? Within your school premises. You're getting connected to 3 different countries, trying to understand how they've been handling behavior, trying to understand, start sharing your challenges. So you are getting the globalized platform. That's where technology helps the schools to come out of one city, one state, one country, connect geographically to other country. So that's where we will be coming in, playing a bigger role, but we'll go step by step.
Gradually.
Yes.
All right, Tathan. And Laban.
Yes. How does technology? How prepared?
How prepared are we for this technology?
I think we're very prepared. During the summit that we had on Tuesday, I posed the question to the head teachers that were there. I said, "How many people do have a smartphone?" They didn't respond. I said, "How many people only have a Kaveri type of phone?" It was only one person out of the entire room. So everybody had a smartphone, apart from one. So we also asked them, how many of them can do without WhatsApping for at least 4 hours? It was a very difficult question. They all laughed because maybe some of them were already on WhatsApp and reporting on what is happening. So the head teachers are prepared. We know the parents are prepared, and the students are very curious. So we are prepared. So just to give you what our traction has been so far, last year, in the first year we started, we registered 4 schools, but only 1 went live. It seemed very difficult. But in the next year, we had 15 schools go live, which is last year. This year, end of last year, we registered 23 schools that we've been onboarding to start in Feb, in a few weeks' time. 23 schools. So you add that total together to another 6 schools in a span of 2 days, where we've been to the summit. 2 days, we have 6 schools that now have registered, and we have another 12 that we'll need to see in the course of the next 1 week before they start to see where they are in terms of adapting the technology. For this year, they're adapting both the Pamoba M-Pocket M-Somesa and the PEEGU. They're complementing each other. They're making a story more meaningful. They're adding value to the entire ecosystem of technology being leveraged in education. So I would say that we are very prepared. From the interactions we've had with the parents, yes, they need, some of them need their hands to be held a little bit. They may be slow, but they're interested, very interested to learn.
That's
and
true.
they know where the benefits lie.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Laban, try and explain and elaborate what you mean by M-SLAP.
M-SLAP. Okay.
It sounds like a really fancy acronym.
Yeah, and we hope that it remains really fancy, but deliver fancy results as well.
All right.
Yeah. So MSLAP or MSL app is simply a mobile supply and logistics application. Yeah. So we are bringing that application into what we already have existing for the M-Pocket at the canteen, where students, the teachers go to purchase those things they use in their day-to-day activities in school, to add this application, which now enables the canteen operator or the school operator to be able to order for things from that application that we give them, from that tablet that we give them, to order the things they want to stock in their canteen, and not limit that supply to the day-to-day things that kids take for break time, but the entire supply chain of commodities, from, say, the sugar, the Vaseline, the toothbrush, toothpaste, name every little item that a parent struggles to go down to Chikubo, go down to this supermarket, wherever they want to find the bargains, And the school is able to actually make that order from that application. The suppliers that will be actually approved by the schools themselves, who they will have vetted for quality supply, yeah, because everybody knows we have a lot of fakes around.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they vet the supply, they know the qualities, and we also negotiate on the pricing because of the economies of scale. Our target had been 50 schools at the end of this year, but I know that we're already at 46 before the term begins, the first term. So I'm sure that with the economies of scale and the number of schools that are coming onto the system, suppliers that actually manage to get onto the system will be very happy because then they have a steady flow of customers. So, but that is now the first part of the application, getting in the goods into the canteens. So we're talking about goods that are used by the teachers, could extend into things like cooking oil or flour, everything they use. But beyond that, we know that sometimes parents want to send special things to kids, things that may not be necessarily easy to find in the local supplies. So a parent now has the option to go into our application, dial the same code, and specify what they want. And when they specify what they want, they can either say, this is what I want, so the system will look for it, or they can actually guide where the supplier is going to get. So when our trucks are delivering these other things, whatever that special item is, it can be put onto the delivery system. It will reach the child. The teacher can do the same thing, and so can the entire ecosystem of the people who work and supply the school. They could be the households, the smallholders that are in the community outside, could be the workers themselves, the cleaners and whatever have you, they can apply. But further also, if you had a child, let's say at Darisusa, and you're in Dubai doing your business, and you discover that you have to send this special thing to your child, no panic. Go into the M Pocket, dial the code, find the good. You can actually, if you know it is, ask the system to purchase it. They'll give you the pricing, will come back to your phone, make the payment off your phone. You can actually use mobile money or go into your bank using the app, your bank account, either directly or onto your Visa card. Buy that good, it will end with the child. So you don't need to panic looking for your brother, your sister to try and help you.
To help you deliver.
To help you do that. So wherever you are, it could be in Dubai, you could be down in Ibanda, in your farm, tending to the lovely animals, and you still do these transactions. Yeah. So that is MSLAP in brief. It can also help the society around to actually acquire those goods directly to a center near them.
All right, thank you so much, Laban. Now, these innovations are already in Uganda as we speak.
Yes.
You have already registered how many schools so far?
We have an extra 23 schools from last year, making it 38, and plus 6 that have signed up in the last 2 days, making it 44 schools.
44 schools.
Yes, 44 schools.
Wow, and those on my PEEGU, how are you monitoring the numbers of those on the application?
So especially in Uganda, 17th we had the summit, and after 17th we happened to sign up with 6 schools.
Really? Yeah. That's a very beautiful start.
I think we happened to spend for 3 days as of today.
Yeah.
And 3 days we are having 6 schools in our hand.
Wow. Yeah. So how does LIPA Mobile and my PEEGU, how will it help the education sector in Uganda and Africa as a whole? I'll start with Chetan.
See, the most important thing is technology has to be leveraged to the complete potential when we talk about the education sector, because education is a very important phase. That's what is going to develop a nation, okay, and that's what is going to build more of our futures. So what my PEEGU and LIPA Mobile, we believe that we need to come out with continuous innovation which will make the education more easier, accessible and understandable for every individual person. So that's where we are setting up a knowledge center in Kampala. That's our first step to start with Uganda. Our knowledge center will be a place where we'll be continuously innovating, new approach, new method, building an easier way of communicating between the teacher, parent and a child. Continuously giving workshop for the teachers, doing parenting workshop for the parents, and especially when I talk about technology, it should be more easier and comfortably done for anybody. Because might be you and me are easy to in terms of using a smartphone, but there will be kids, somewhere in Kenya or might be in Nairobi, might be in some part of Africa, who will not be knowing how to use a smartphone, but he has got the eagerness to learn something, right? Anybody, I feel anybody, any child from wherever social background you are, you have a potential to become a Nelson Mandela, Steve Jobs, or any other bigger personality. You just need a right direction and an accessibility. So that's where technology has to play a bigger role in education sector. And that's what LIPA Mobile and PEEGU have pledged to do this. And starting with Knowledge Center in Uganda.
In Uganda, yes. And Laban.
Yeah, education sector in Uganda, we already know that if a parent is using MSOMESA to save up for school fees, it means that probably we're going to end up keeping more kids in school.
Yes.
Because most times 60% of the parents who have not paid up at the beginning of term is not because they did not have the money, they simply did not have the means to save up.
Yes.
So if we use that, we know that more kids will stay in school because the parents are now prioritizing to keep the kids in school. So there you are with that aspect. But beyond that, if we also now create a cashless society, it means that if you send your child to school, and innocent as they might be, there's less peer pressure from that child who might want to introduce them to spending the money on things like maybe drugs, maybe even booze or other senseless things that we may not want to talk about here now. So if your child hasn't got the cash, he's not a candidate. And if there are many non-candidates for that business, it probably dies in school.
That's true.
So that's right, there's a support for education so that we can concentrate. Now with MSLAP coming along, it means that the teachers can concentrate on teaching. They don't need to run around going to do their shopping, but they also benefit from the ecosystem by getting discounted services. We discounted goods. We know that a penny saved is a penny earned. So it helps the teachers there. And of course, with PEEGU adding to that, the teachers are also supported in the personal development through PEEGU. We know that we get a holistic support for the ecosystem right there. So when you talk about how is it helping in Africa, this evening we're flying out to Ghana, where we shall be launching LIPA Mobile and PEEGU. When we return in Feb, we're going to Nairobi, but in March, April, we're going to Nigeria. So it's already spreading out. It's, as you know, technology is boundaryless. We don't need to carry a truckload of it to Nigeria. True. We just turn up and log on and that's it. So these are similarities those are the countries that we're beginning out in, rolling out to the rest of Africa. We've got Zambia and Malawi on our radar as well.
That's very, very noble. Yeah. So briefly, as we wind up, I would like my final remarks from you, Chetan. How best would you advise people to adapt to the PEEGU ad?
Okay, so it's very easy. Every parent, every school, every teacher want their kids to excel in all the aspects of life.
That's true.
Right? And that's what the aspiration of all the parents, teachers, and the principals have been so far. So we are coming as an helping hand. We are working along with the teachers. As I said, it's more of a combination of child experts and the technology, right? So we are very happy to see in 3 days we have got 6 schools, and we are looking forward to sign up with more number of schools over here.
Schools, that's true.
Yeah, so as we have signed up with LIPA Mobile, so they are the face for us for taking us forward. So as the school takes us in, it's very simple. We just go. They said we are ready to take you on board, and we start the work on an immediate basis.
All right. Thank you so much. Alaban, as we wind up, LIPA Mobile, how would you want people to embrace this new technology?
The schools have already shown a lot of interest, so we are advising them to just carry on doing that. We have all these schools that have, not only the ones that we've mentioned, that signed up and registered interest at the summit. Yes. We would encourage them to actually continue to make the appointments with us, and we'll send our people there, and we'll take them through how the system works. The parents should actually look out and understand that this technology is here to stay. The trend is not reversing. In any area of technology. My grandmother actually now knows about 2 things on her phone. She knows 1, mobile money, because she receives the money, she knows a PIN code number, and she guards it so quick. But also, she knows about WhatsApp, because through WhatsApp, she gets the pictures of her grandchildren from America, from everywhere. So she has learned. So there's no excuse for anybody. If an 86, 88
year-old
lady is on the digital platform, there's no excuse for any parent. I won't talk about the kids. They already miles and literally. Yeah, so parents, teachers, no excuse. The technology is here to help us. Let's leverage and get full advantage at every point that we can. Let's allow the kids to innovate and ask questions. Let them come and tell us, this is the problem we want you to resolve, and we shall find an innovative solution to it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jason. Well, it has been a very inspiring discussion, one that has me thinking. With the new technology, at just a click of a button, you get to monitor your child's movement, your child's behavior, and many parents, oftentimes with this new day and age, you are so engulfed in your work and providing for your child that sometimes you forget about your child's behavior, and how they grow up to become in life usually depends entirely on you. But with my PEEGU and LIPA Mobile, that is going to change entirely. Well, my name is Isabella Tugume. Thank you so much for joining us here on the breakfast meeting. At 12:30, I return for NBS Now News for your current affairs, in your latest in current affairs, sports and business.